So Shang-Chi may have just shot himself in the foot. The actor, sorry, Simu Lee. I'm really shocked. But I also don't know whether some of this will be marketing. I think some of this will be a marketing strategy. So let's sort of quell our dramatic heads a little bit here. It's unconfirmed at this point, but would I put it past Disney to orchestrate this as a form of publicity? No, I wouldn't. But what am I talking about, ladies and gents? Well, I'm talking about Simu Lee going absolutely mental, going on social media, responding to Disney CEO Bob Chapek's comments on the earnings call, where Bob Chapek, and it's quite a benign comment actually, but he says that, yeah, it's going to be an interesting experiment. This is the first time we're releasing a movie in this fashion. It'll be an interesting experiment. We'll see how it goes. And Simu Lee, the thing about this is either Simu Lee is absolutely butthurt, really, really butthurt. Like, you shouldn't be this butthurt over these comments. It's not that deep, mate. Calm down. But I'm really shocked. Like, why you? Or, like I said, it's PR. But he says this: we are not an interesting experiment. We are the underdog, the underestimated. We are the ceiling breakers. We are the celebration of culture and joy that will persevere after an embattled year. We are the surprise. I'm fired the F up to make history on September 3rd. Join us. It kind of sounds like a PR spin. Because Bob Chapek didn't really say anything that bad. Right? So on the earnings call, they were starting to speak about COVID, day and date release, Disney, Premiere, Plus, etc. And he says, we value flexibility in being able to make last minute calls. Right? Perfectly reasonable. And that was on the Q3 earnings call, which wasn't that interesting, by the way. That's why I haven't bothered to do a report on it this time. Without indicating any other future dynamic window releases beyond the studio's recent summer handful of Cruella, Black Widow and Jungle Cruise. But he then went on to say this: certainly, when we planned, we didn't anticipate the resurgence of COVID, he added, also indicating that there's nothing in stone in regards to the distribution prospects of the studio's future theatrical titles. So he says that, right? Literally very, very benign, in fact. There's nothing in there that's dangerous or horrible to say. And as far as the theatrical window for the upcoming Labor Day weekend release of Marvel's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Chapek called the 45-day frame for the pick before it hits Disney Plus an interesting experiment. And it's another data point for the studio as it juggles theatrical releases with its streaming service. Oh, I think this is PR, don't you? Chapek also told analysts on the call that despite the theatrical Disney Plus premiere model being a winning strategy to date, exhibitor agreements on Shang-Chi prevented the conglomerate from going with a last-minute day-and-date strategy. So they'd already had exhibitor agreements, which is interesting because you thought they'd had that in place for Black Widow, but apparently not. And like I said, that made Simu Lee really butthurt. This is the tweet. He did it on Twitter and he did it on Instagram. And posted pictures of himself topless. Does this dude have little dick syndrome? Oh, what are you doing, mate? What are you doing? We are the underdog. Topless picture! Alright. Steady on, bro. Like, I'm a bit confused. Very, very strange. But like I said, I think this, to me, just screams of PR spin. Absolutely from PR spin. So he started off on Instagram, then he went over to Twitter. Chapek's comments came Thursday, blah, 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 blah. This is just kind of reiterating those points. But the interesting thing is, the film premiering on September 3rd is one of the first from Disney to be released in this fashion. Because of COVID-19. Now, Free Guy, they couldn't do that because that had an agreement with something, I believe, of HBO or something along those lines. So they were not allowed to do what they wanted to do with Free Guy because there was pre-agreements in place. Much like, I guess you could say, with Shang-Chi, there are pre-agreements in place. Otherwise, it would end up day-and-date release on Disney Plus. Interesting. Now, obviously, other recent Disney blockbusters, including Jungle Cruise, Black Widow and Cruella have had a joint release in theatres and on Disney Plus Premier Access. I cannot see this being legit. Simu Lee, either you are Napoleon syndrome, like gone up a lot, you know, good old reference, Spinal Tap, up to 11, you know, or this is just PR spin. Because good God, Bob Chapek, do you think is he going to be pleased with this? Do you think he's going to be pleased with one of his actors calling him out? No. Unless it's orchestrated. This would be orchestrated. And make no mistake, like, it's in the wording. I'm fired the F up to make history on September 3rd. Join us. Come and watch us. This is, you know, we are the underdog. And it's funny as well, they're not the underdog. A good few months back, or a few weeks ago anyway, there were articles slating that their opening weekend was going to make history. And then a few weeks on, it's like, oh, it's going to really, really struggle. It's like, you were never the underdog. It's only recently that those reports have been coming out. Calm down. All right, if your film's like Free Guy, what did Free Guy top this weekend? Because Free Guy's absolutely blown up. I think it topped something ludicrous, actually. Free Guy hit like 50 million or something like that, 50 to 100 million. Opening weekend worldwide. Yeah, so Free Guy debuts the 51 million global haul already. That's opening weekend. If your film's good, it'll do okay. You know, like Free Guy is not a film which you'd think would be a smash hit, proper blockbuster. But 51 million global haul in the current issues, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. We've got to take it all into account. Shang-Chi, yeah. I think Simu Lee's getting a little bit, yeah, this is all PR spin. I'd be heavily surprised if it's not. The other side of it is as well that Disney, this might not be PR spin, and Disney won't lash out at this actor. Why? Because obviously he's representing China. And they did the same thing with the Mulan actor who came out and was supporting the Hong Kong police during all those protests that were occurring, the pro-democracy protests. Disney didn't muzzle her in any way, shape or form. They are very, very, very bow down to China. And they're actors that represent China, and Simu Lee is one of those individuals. So, interesting. Now, I know there's lots of reports of like civil wars and all this kind of stuff going on within Disney. I think part of this is just PR spin. I think they're just trying to rile everyone up, get them to watch that movie opening weekend so it doesn't bomb, basically. But let me know what you guys think down below. I'd be very keen to hear how you view all of this. So please do let me know. If you're new here, you stayed this long, you clearly enjoyed the video. It's the end, so you stayed to the end. Hit that subscribe button. You might enjoy more. I upload daily content and I stream 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's at 9 PM GMT, 4 PM Eastern Standard Time. But thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.